Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to the session. Hope you all can hear me. Okay, that's great, guys. Thanks for confirming. I hope everyone is able to hear me clearly. Okay, yeah, thanks for confirmation. So let us start the session, everyone. Yesterday, in our yesterday session, we have seen about why we need the cloud platforms, isn't it? So we have seen the cloud overview. So why actually we need the cloud platforms and how the traditional methodology and how it is different from the cloud and what are the challenges that the traditional people were facing and how do we tackle it with help of the cloud platforms. We have seen that yesterday. And I have also told you about a Google Cloud Platform introduction and why we learn the GCP, opportunities and certifications. Today's topic, I am going to talk about the GCP interfaces. Okay, so I am going to talk about what is console, what is Cloud Shell, and what is Cloud SDK. So we have total three interfaces are there to interact with the GCP services. We are going to see what are these interface methods and how do we interact with the GCP services one by one. Let us try to understand it. Okay, for doing that, I'll go to the Google Cloud Platform. This is how a Google Cloud Platform looks like, guys. I will tell you how can you guys can create a free tier account in the GCP. In our upcoming sessions, we will see it. Most probably on Monday, I will tell you how we can able to create a free tier account in the GCP. This is a free tier account for me, guys. You can see here. Free trial status. This is how you can able to see. Okay, it's a free trial status for me only. Okay, let us see here. I'll tell you. The very first method I'm going to talk about is console. If one wanted to interact with the GCP services, so we have seen that Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider. It provides you plenty of the services. So these many services. Sir, if I wanted to interact with these services in the Google Cloud Platform, so we have total four interface methods are there. One is console. The second one is Cloud Shell. The third one is Cloud SDK. The fourth one is APIs and third-party tools. So most of the times we are going to use console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. So what is console? If one asks me, a console is a graphical user interface. What is this one, sir? It is a web-based. It is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services. Here, what we are doing it, guys, the main agenda is to interact with the GCP services. So if one wanted to interact with the GCP services, here we are going to interact with the GCP services visually. Okay, we are going to interact with the GCP services here visually. So that is what is something that we are going to do it in the console. What is console, guys? Console is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services. Where is that one, sir? If you ask me, the one you are seeing, this is a graphical user interface only. The one you are seeing is a graphical user interface only, where, for example, if I wanted to work with a Google Cloud Storage, which is a cloud storage system, what I'm going to do? I'm going to visually, I'm going to interact with the user interface so that I can able to select that service. I can just click on create bucket. I can create the bucket. So I am interacting with the one of the service in the Google Cloud Platform, that is GCS, to create a bucket. So what I'm doing it, with the help of the visual aid, with the help of the user interface, I'm interacting with the services. So that is what I call it as a console. So this is what is console, everyone. The one you are seeing is a console to interact with the GCP services. So console is a graphical and web based. When I say a web based, what is mean by that, sir? It is available over the web only. It is available over the web only. So that is the reason I'm calling it as a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services visually. So that is what is a console. Sir, what we can do in the console? So what we can do in the console, if one asks me, almost you can do anything. So you can able to create storage buckets. You can create IAM policy. What are these things? You can able to see it later. Okay, you can create DataProc clusters for processing the data. You can create dataset and tables in BigQuery. So all of these things you can actually do it, guys. You can do all of these activities, even more. Plenty of the things are there. What is main agenda for us as a data engineer? If you wanted to store the data, or if you wanted to analyze the data, or if you wanted to visualize the data, or if you wanted to log the data, monitor it, whatever the things that you wanted to do it, you can actually do it from the console itself. So all of these activities you can do it. Plenty of the things are there. I'm just mentioning you few things here, guys. Okay, plenty of such things are there. Okay, I'm just giving you the examples here. So I can go to the Google Cloud platform. I can create a bucket for storing the data. So I just create here. See, I'm just creating random bucket. I'm creating a random bucket 1702. Some random name I have to give. I'm clicking on create bucket. So look at here. I'm trying to create a bucket to just to let you know all of these things we are going to see it. And later if you wanted to upload your data, just click on upload files. So it is going to be uploading here. I'm uploading some JSON file here. So this is how you can able to create a bucket and store the data. So what all of these things we have done it using the console, which is a graphical user interface. Similarly, you can open cloud storage, sorry, you can open BigQuery. You can open BigQuery. Look at here, I'm opening the BigQuery. And I can create a bucket, or I can create a table. So I can just create a table. You might have known SQL, right? So can you anyone tell me how do we create a table? What is a create table statement? Correct, right? Correct. So you can mention that create a table,
Yes, table
and
table.
table name you have to mention, right? So look at here, I'm creating a table here. So I have to create table, some table name, table test. I'm gonna mention like this. Okay. Later you will mention some column names, ID int 64. Don't worry about it. Later we will see what is this one. ID int 64. Name string. So this is how you can create a table also. What we are doing all of these things again in the console. Okay, so a console is a graphical user interface. Someone can able to see. I wanted to list out all the tables here. I wanted to list out all the tables inside this data set. I can do it. And I wanted to list out all the buckets inside the cloud storage. See, I'm able to list out all the buckets. I'm able to list out all the tables and data sets. See, I have this many data sets. When it was open like this one, so I can able to list out the data set. In each data set, I can able to list out the table. So this is what is a console, everyone. Okay, so you can assign IAM policy also, all of these things. So this is what I call it as a console. A console is a graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services visually. You can interact with the GCP services visually, guys. So this is what is console. And the next method I wanted to talk about, the next interface method is, can you guys tell me? Cloud Shell, right? You can call it as a console or cloud shell, you can call it as. Sir, can anyone guess it? What could be a cloud shell? Correct.
Linux.
Perfect.
Scripting.
Correct. Perfect. Most of the people are able to say it in a different words, but all the answers are same thing. It is a web-based command line interface. Command, right? So it is a command line interface. So if one wanted to interact with the GCP services, they can actually do it via commands also. They can actually do it via commands. That means if I wanted to interact with the GCP services, I can do it via interact it via commands. So this is what commands are scripts, so whatever you can think of. So this is what is one more method, everyone. So if I wanted to interact with the GCP services, I can actually do it via command line interface. So for example, let me gonna show you the method, guys, here. So guys, please mute yourself, okay? I can't do it. I can't do it. Not sure. 1 minute, please. Yeah, that's fine. Now look at here. So I'm gonna go to the Google Cloud Platform. So now we have seen about the console. This is our console. So I wanted to give a small tour towards our interface. So this is how our home page looks like. Okay, so this is our home page looks like. Okay, this is our Google homepage looks like. I just wanted to tell you all of these options. Whenever I'm talking about it, you should not get confused. And this is my left navigation menu. So whenever I'm calling it as a left navigation menu, you have to go to this one. And this is my project area. If I say project area, I'm going to this one. So you can go to the project area and you can select the multiple things. What is project and what is, how do we create a project? What is the importance of the project? I will tell you in the next class. Okay, and this is our search box. If I wanted to search with any of the services or any of the products, I can come here and search it. And this is our Gemini, which is free for all the customers who are using the Google Cloud Platform. We can actually use Gemini, which is inbuilt of the Google Cloud Platform. And this is our reward status. And if one wanted to see the status, how many free credits are there in your account, if you wanted to see it, you can able to see it. In my account, I have 22,000 for 63 days. Okay, so that is also there. Sorry. And the next thing is, this is what I was looking at it. This is what is Cloud Shell. So this is what is a Cloud Shell button, guys. So you will be having at the top right corner, you will be having a Cloud Shell button. So everyone, if anyone wanted to go to the Cloud Shell, they have to go to here. They have to click on this one. So I'll go here now. So I go, see, look at here, the option, activate Cloud Shell button. I'm going to click on this one. See, the Cloud Shell is getting activated at the bottom. So you can see here, guys, this is what is a Cloud Shell. It is getting activated. So just now we are able to list out the data sets. So look at here, how many data sets I have it. One, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 data sets we have it. So I'm going to show you. I can also list out those data sets from my Cloud Shell also via the command. If one wanted to interact with the GCP services, any of the services, if you wanted to interact with it, you can actually do it via Cloud Shell also. Let me increase this size. Okay, so I wanted to list out these data sets. BQ. I know the commands, but don't worry, I'll tell you the commands in our upcoming sessions. Our main way to understand is that how many interfaces are there in the GCP. So that is what we are looking at here. Okay, so look at here, guys. So BQLS. So total we have 4 data sets are there. See, as I told you. Sir, I would like to see the tables. So if I look at this one TestDB, I have this many tables are there. I wanted to list out the tables also. BQLS, and you can able to list out the data sets in the TestDB. Okay, when you click on enter, you should be able to see the list of tables also. See, you can see here, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 tables are there. Total 5 tables are there. So this is one of the thing is an external table, and we will see what is an external table in our upcoming sessions. But look at here. This is what is that. Okay, so not this one, maybe this one. Okay, yeah, this one. So this is an external table. So that is how one can able to. Similarly, sir, I would like to go to the cloud storage and I wanted to list out the buckets. I wanted to list out the buckets. I wanted to create a bucket also. If one wanted to create a bucket, create a table, list out the buckets and all of those things. If one wanted to do it, they can actually do it from the console also, as well as Cloud Shell also. So I'm going to list out the buckets, GS util ls. The moment you list out all the buckets, you will be able to see this many buckets are there. Just now we have created a one of the bucket using the console. You can also create a bucket using the Cloud Shell as well. GS util MB, the bucket name you can give random bucket name. So I'm going to say random bucket for testing. I'm mentioning for testing. So this is how I'm just giving an enter so that this time it is creating a new bucket. Just go to here gs util ls. Again, you should be able to see list of the bucket. One of the bucket, that's now we have created this one. random bucket for testing. You can even go to the console. Now you have only 4, and let me gonna refresh it. You should be having one more also, because just now we have created, right? You can see random bucket for testing. So this is how one can able to work from the console. One can also work from the Cloud Shell. Okay, so what is a Cloud Shell, guys? Cloud Shell is a one of the command line interface to interact with the GCP services. Okay, so give me 1 minute, guys. It is raining heavily here. Just closing all the doors. Give me 1 minute, please. Yes, so I hope it is clear. I hope everyone is able to hear me now. Yeah, okay, great. Please mute yourself whenever you have any question on
Sir, I
screen.
have a
Please you
doubt
can
for.
talk. We will see it, guys. We will see it. I'll give you the time for the doubts. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we have GCP interfaces. And if one wanted to interact with the command line interface, they can go to the Cloud Shell. If one wanted to interact from the user interface, they can go to the Cloud Shell. Okay. So let me gonna tell you here. Please mute yourself. I'll give you the time, guys. Don't worry. Every time, whenever we have this, by the end of the session, whenever anyone having any questions, I am going to clear it out, and then only we will be going out. Okay. Yeah. Just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to do this thing. Yeah. So this is what is Cloud Shell, anyone? So web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services. So whatever you are doing it here, you can able to do here also. That is what I want you guys to understand. But when you look at the Cloud Shell, they are saying Cloud Shell terminal. So this is what is terminal. So where you can able to run your commands. But actually Cloud Shell comes up with a one more phase, that is editor. You can also open this entire Cloud Shell in the next window. Instead of you are moving up and down, you can actually open this in the next window. I'm opening it in the next window. You can actually open it in the next window. The same session is opened here. You can actually open one more thing, that is editor also. So this is our editor. So what is my agenda is that you have two phases in the Cloud Shell, guys. One is Cloud Shell terminal. So Cloud Shell terminal is there. You also have a Cloud Shell editor is also there. You also have editor. So Cloud Shell is having two phases. One is terminal. Terminal is purely to run your scripts or commands. Editor comes up with a plenty of the features such as versioning, code editing purposes, and if one wanted to install any kind of extensions also, code editing purpose, plugins if you wanted to install. So it is like a more of an editor. It is free for everyone. Terminal and editor and shell, everything is free for you guys. You don't have to pay anything for these things. Okay, so these are the two phases. So this bottom thing is our Cloud Shell terminal, and the top thing is our editor. So you can go to the editor. If you wanted to go to the home directory, click on open in home directory. You can write your scripts, whether you wanted to write your Python script, JavaScript, Node.js, Ruby, whatever it is, Scala, PySpark, any code. If you wanted to write it, even you wanted to create a notebook also, you can create a notebook also here, sir. So for example, sir, I wanted to create a Python notebook. So that is main.ipynb. Okay, a notebook. If you wanted to create it, you can actually create a notebook. See here, a cell oriented. So print Sheikh Saidul. So you can run one cell at a time. So you can able to run this code. Okay, browser Jupyter environment. It is installing that. 1 minute, guys. Installing the extension. See, as I told you. So this is how you will be having the terminal. You will also be having the editor. All of these things you are going to use it in the upcoming session. So that's the reason I don't want you guys to look at all the time later. So this should not be the fresh thing for you. Okay, you should be having this already known. So that's the reason at that point of time you should be actually feeling comfortable. Just run it. Yeah. Yeah, it ran, guys. It is printing it. So you can also create one more code. See, print our first, our third demo. Okay, so this is our third demo. You can run it. See, so this is how a cell oriented also you can actually do it. So it's very, very flexible. It comes up with a plenty of the features, also a rich UI also it is having it. Okay, so this is one more thing. It supports version control. You can actually initialize your repository and connect it to here, and it comes with a version control. It supports plenty of the debugging. Also, whenever you are running some code, you wanted to debug it, you can do that. Plenty of the extensions you can able to install it, and it also supports the cloud coding. So plenty of these things, and it also supports the Terraform. Plenty of the things it is going to be supporting. If you wanted to change your settings also, you can do that. So this is what is our Cloud Shell editor, everyone. Okay, so one is terminal and one more is editor. So you will be having two things here, guys. You have two phases. One is terminal, one more is editor. So this is how, what is Cloud Shell? It is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services. So you can able to interact with the GCP services via commands. So that can be done on the terminal. That can also be done from the editor, right? So you will be running some command, or you can also run some scripts as well. So that is what is a Cloud Shell, everyone. Okay. Yes. And most of the times this Cloud Shell, the operating system of this Cloud Shell is the Linux only. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to learn about the Linux commands. Okay, the operating system of this Cloud Shell machine is going to be the Linux operating system only. So that's the reason we must know the Linux commands. In our upcoming sessions, I'm going to tell you about the Linux commands as well. Okay, yeah. So this is our second method of interacting with the GCP services. And we have third method also. Anyone tell me?
SDK.
Correct. Correct. Perfect. Can anyone tell me the abbreviation of the SDK or a full form of the SDK?
Software Development Kit.
Perfect. Software development kit. Correct. Sir, this is actually not available over the web. Okay, it is not web based, it is more of a local based. It is more of a local based. Sir, the moment I say local based, what is that one, sir? So that means according to your local machine, you have to install this SDK as per your operating system. So for example, so if I say my local machine, so this is what is my, okay, why it is this many things are there? 1 minute, guys. Okay, this is my local machine. So sometimes you wanted to do some kind of a things from your local machine to the Google Cloud platform, such as like, sir, I have some files in my local machine or my local server. I wanted to move it to the Google Cloud platform. Sir, in such a scenario, how can I be able to do it, sir? I can't use the Cloud Shell, sir. I can't use the Cloud Console also. How can I do it, sir? In that scenario, you can actually go for the SDK. SDK is nothing but a software development kit. It is a local based. That means according to your local machine operating system, you have to install it on top of this local machine. On top of your local machine, according to the operating system, you have to install it. Sir, how can I do that? You can just go to the Google. You have to mention Google CLI. Nothing but a SDK or CLI, both are same. You can go. Just see here, install Google CLI. So this is how you can able to do it, guys. So if your operating system is a Linux, you have to follow this method. This curl commands you have to run. If your operating system is a Ubuntu or Debian, you have to follow these commands. If your system is a Red Hat, Fedora, CentOS, you have to follow. Sir, my operating system is a Mac OS, you have to follow these reps. Sir, mine is a Windows operating system. You can just click on this one. So for Windows operating system, you can just click on this one. I guess most of our systems are Windows only. For those people, you have to click on this one and look at here. It is downloaded. You open that in the folder. Okay, you are very much aware that how do we install it, right? So you just click on run as administrator and you try to install it. You try to install it. So this is how, the moment I click on install, it is asking for me to select a few options. Okay, just click on enter, agree, next, and install. The moment if I click on install, it is going to be installing on top of our local machine. Very simple to install, guys. Nothing to worry. You just have to go here. Don't worry about it. I have properly documented in my notes also. Okay, give me 1 minute. Yes, yes, we are using both. We will be using both. Okay, yeah. For some services, we'll be using SDK. For some services, we'll be using the console. Okay, yeah. So how do we install the SDK? I have actually properly documented the notes here. For those people, if it is a Windows operating system, just click on it, you will be able to download it. Okay, and for those, sir, I have a Ubuntu operating system, Debian, you just have to install it this way. Just copy these commands and paste it. Okay, so yeah, so I clicked on here, sir. I have downloaded here, sir, and it is installed. And you can select here, it is installed, right? You can search with the SDK. See here, it is already installed, so that you can able to see Google Cloud SDK shell, and you can open it. Open it. I forgot to tell you one thing, that is, sir, it is a local based according to your operating system you have to install, and I forgot to tell you that it is also a command line interface. It is also a command line interface. So if one wanted to interact with the commands, they can also go with the SDK, but it is more of a local base. That means it is installed on top of your local machine. That means if one wanted to interact with the GCP services from the local machine itself, they can actually do it like this. They can actually do it via SDK. So that is what it is, guys. The same thing. If one wanted to interact with the GCP services via commands, again the same thing, you can mention it here. Okay, so this is what it is. So how do we install it? According to your operating system, you have to come to this page. If it is Linux, you have to run all of these commands. If it is Debian or Ubuntu, you have to run all of these commands. So my system is a Windows. You click on this one here. Once it is downloaded, you open the location and try to install it. You try to install it. Once it is installed, this is how the page looks like. Okay, so it's like this, guys. So you wanted to use the WhatsApp in from your local machine, so you don't wanted to use the WhatsApp. So can you guys tell me what we will be doing? Sir, I wanted to use WhatsApp from my local machine itself. Okay, so what I will do, first I will download it, isn't it? We will first download it, and after that we will install it. Tell me, guys, what is the next step we will do? Login. This is what I want you guys to tell me. So login we will be doing. So what is the login, sir? I might have already having a WhatsApp account, so that's the reason I'm doing the login. Similarly, we already have a Google Cloud account. From the SDK we wanted to log in. We need to log in or not. So for that one, I have documented the steps also. Later you can see here, if one wanted to use the SDK, first they have to use gcloud auth login. They have to log in, guys. They have to log in. So you have to use the very first command, that is gcloud auth login. Gcloud auth login. The moment you hit the button, you will be going to the browser only. You will be going to the browser only, and this is my Google account. I select here. And I forgot. Yeah, 1 minute, guys. I have to allow this. 1 minute. I forgot this one. I have to allow this one. Ganesh. This is not my account. Okay, code 34. Okay, but anyway, it will be connected. Don't worry about it. Actually, it's not my account. My account got actually completed the free trial yesterday. I supposed to create it today, but I forgot. Okay, so this guy is not available. Let me ping him or let me call him. Okay, he's on another phone. Okay, anyway, let's not worry about it. So I'm gonna just close this one and open it because it's already connected. So let me gonna show you. So you will be allowing there, guys, in your local machine. So the moment it is asking for you to verify, you will be verifying it properly. I'll open the SDK one more time. So I'm opening the SDK. So that means you are going to do the login, right? So you will be doing the login, and after that you can run your commands such as gsutil ls. gsutil ls you can able to run. It's supposed to show you the bucket names. See, for me it is already login, so that's the reason I don't have to do it one more time. So that's the reason it's already connected to my project. Look at here. So are you able to see the same thing? Just now we have created this one using the console and this one using the Cloud Shell. Okay, you can actually create a bucket from here also. gsutil mb gs://random bucket, this time random bucket from the SDK for testing. Okay, just run it. It now going to create a one more bucket. So from the cloud SDK also you can able to interact with the GCP services. So that is how you see here, guys, one of the bucket that we have just created. So that means for storing the data, for moving the data, for doing the whatever the activities, for running some scripts, if you wanted to do it, you can actually do it from your local machine also using the SDK. So it is like a bridge between your Google Cloud account. So this is my local machine. So this is my Google Cloud, and if the SDK acts as a bridge between you, so that if one wanted to move the data or interact, because most of the times we are having our code repo available in our local machine, we will be running from the SDK only. So to interact with the GCP, we will be installing the SDK and we're interacting with the GCP services from the SDK. So this is how our third method, guys. So this is our third method you can able to see here. So where is that? Yeah, here it is. So Cloud SDK is a one of the local based. That means the moment when I say local based, if one wanted to use the SDK, they have to download it as per your operating system. You have to install it on top of your local machine, and then you can able to use the commands to interact with the GCP services. Okay, so you can see here, if one wanted to interact with the GCP services via commands, they can actually use the SDK. So almost everything you can actually do it here. Okay, so all of these things can also be done from the Cloud Shell as well as Cloud SDK also. Whatever you are able to achieve it using the console can most of the times can be able to achieve it using the Cloud Shell as well as Cloud SDK as well. So these are the total three methods are there. One is console, one more is Cloud Shell, the third one is Cloud SDK. Most of the times we will be using console and Cloud SDK. Okay, yeah. And there is a fourth method of interacting with the services, guys. There is a fourth method of interacting with the services, that is via APIs, or that is via API, or sometimes we'll also be doing it via third-party tools. Okay, third-party tools. Okay, so that is what. So you can actually use the API. API is nothing but application programming interfaces. Maybe you can use Postman or something. If one wanted to interact with the GCP services, they can actually use via API. That is one thing. And you can also have third-party tools, something like Informatica. Okay, Informatica you have it. Or you have some kind of a tool like Power BI, for example. Is all these are the third-party tools to the Google Cloud platform. If one wanted to interact with these, I mean, for example, in Informatica is a ETL tool. If it is loading the data to the Google Cloud storage, they can actually do it. So for loading the data from the Informatica to the GCS, you can again use third-party tool, that is Informatica. And from the Power BI, you can actually extract the data from the BigQuery and create a dashboards here. So Power BI and the BigQuery is a Google Cloud platform, and BigQuery is a Google Cloud platform. Power BI third-party tool. You can create a dashboards or reports here. Okay, dashboards or reports, you can able to do it. So this is how one can able to interact with the third party tools also, maybe for loading the data, or maybe for extracting the data, or maybe for visualizing the data, or maybe for analyzing the data, or maybe for creating a databases or interacting with the database. Any visual, any method. I am giving you some examples such as Informatica, Power BI, or Talent, or whatever it is. Right, so these are all third party tools. Via these third party tools also someone can able to interact with the GCP services. Okay, so this is what is our the very first topic on the Google Cloud platform in the cloud basics. So how do we interact with the GCP services? One is console. Console is a web-based graphical user interface provided by the Google Cloud platform. It allows you to manage and configure the GCP services visually. Visually you can do it. Okay, it is available over the web, so that is the reason I call it as a web-based. Okay, so that is what. The next method is Cloud Shell. It is a command line interface to interact with the GCP services, and it is available over the web again. And it is a small machine. It comes up with a 5 GB storage. I forgot to tell you guys. This point I forgot to tell you that it is a small machine. So it is a machine, guys. The machine operating system is Linux. And when I say small, it because it is only having 5 GB storage. It is only for the interaction purpose, not for storing the data. So it comes up with a 5 GB storage. It is for everyone free only. They can make use of this Linux operating system shell based environment to interact with the GCP services. So that is also there. And the third method is Cloud SDK. The third method is Cloud SDK is a set of command line libraries or tools to provide you a command line interface to interact with the GCP services. Nothing but a software development kit. You can install the Cloud SDK on top of your local machine, and you can use the commands to interact or configure or manage with the GCP resources. And you have to provide the authentication via your Google Cloud account. So just now I told you G Cloud Auth login is for the authentication to Google Cloud account. You can actually go for service accounts also. You can also log in via service account. That authentication part I will tell you later. Okay, so that is also there. And the fourth method, that is APIs and third-party tools. And Google Cloud Platform is actually providing you a plenty of API, set of API services. So that someone can able to interact with the GCP services via API also. That method is also available, guys. Okay, so these are all things. So and many third-party tools can be integrated with the Google Cloud resources, maybe for storing the data, maybe for editing purposes, or maybe for deployment or monitoring or debugging. Any activity if they wanted to do it, they can also do it, guys. Okay, so that is what. So these are all the four methods interact with the GCP services. And I have a note finally that I want you guys to tell you, that is these are the some of the common ways to interact with the GCP services, and the choice of method depends on your preferences, the requirements, and the type of interaction that you wanted to have with the GCP resources. What is my main motto of saying this one is that people will ask me, sir, which method we are going to use commonly. I can't say that. Okay, sir, which method we are going to use it all the time? I don't say that. It depends on your project requirement. So it depends on your project requirement. In the project requirement, if they say to use console, you have to use console. Or maybe for BigQuery, they ask you to use console, you have to use the console only. Or for some other service, they are asking you to use for DataProc, you have to use it via SDK. So you have to use it via SDK. So it is based on your project requirement. If they say you have a flexibility to use any service, that's where according to your flexibility and the type of interaction that you wanted to have it with, and your own way, that some people wanted to use with the console graphical user interface, some people are very much interested to use the command line interface. So it's your total type of interaction that you wanted to have it with the GCP resources. Okay, when you have a flexibility, but as per your project requirement, if they say this one only, you have to use that one only. Here I'm telling you all the methods. In our upcoming sessions also we are going to use all the methods, and according to your project requirement, if they say one thing, you should be able to work on it. Okay, so that is what this note says. Okay, yeah, I'm going to stop the session here for today, guys. It is 9:45. In next session, what I'm going to tell you in the next session is a console walkthrough. I'm going to first tell you how to create a free tier account. That is what is our first step. Okay, in the next session, I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account. This is our first step. Next setup is project setup. What is actually project and how do we set up the project in the Google Cloud platform? And third thing is that billing. How do we manage the billing and enable the billing in the Google Cloud platform? How the billing is tracked properly? And the fourth step is that how do we enable the APIs? Okay, so these are the four things we are going to see in our upcoming sessions, which is going to be very, very important session, guys. Okay, so I'm going to stop the session here for today. Now tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if anyone have any questions. So this is what is console cloud shell. Don't worry, it everything is already properly documented later point of time if you wanted to see it. Console cloud shell, cloud SDK, all of these things are already here. Okay, yeah, please raise your hand, guys. I don't see any has hand raised. If anyone have any questions, you can try. Raise your hands. Yes, Sufyan. Yeah, 1 minute, guys. Yes, Srikant. Yes, Srikant. Yeah, please go ahead, Srikant. Yeah. This terminal I'm using the SD. I mean, this is more of a Linux only. Okay. So the one which I'm using, this one is Linux only. Yeah. Basic Linux commands. For basic, oh no, you don't need that. For infrastructure setup, you can use Terraform, and that is a complementary topic that we are going to provide you. Don't worry about that. So we will be having Terraform. So what is Terraform? And that is going to be for setting up the infrastructure that is covered as a video to you guys. It's a complementary topic for you. Yes. Not required. Not required. For this data engineering, we will be using Python, SQL, PySpark, basic Linux. That's it. No, not required. For data engineering, fully all the data engineering, not only data engineering, data scientist, machine learning, all our life revolve around Python only. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So yes, Sufyan, you have any question? Sufyan, please. Yes, please. Yeah. It depends on the. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. But how it actually happens is that in our upcoming sessions, you are going to see it. For example, the moment I start using the BigQuery, so I say BigQuery's console is more than the command line tool. Okay, so that way you will be understanding it, right? So the moment I say BigQuery, people say use console only. Don't use the SDK because console gives you a very rich set of library and it is a very rich set of UI. So very rich UI, so that most of the features are there in the UI. So such that based on that factor, actually we decided. Okay, so BigQuery console because it's a rich set of UI, people, developers can able to easily, come with a plenty of the features. They can easily write the code. So such a kind of a features. How the flexibility, and one more is the security. So some people don't allow to use Cloud Shell. In some of the company, when I was working for Ford project, so they're actually not allowing me to use the Cloud Shell. So entire organization, Google Cloud organization, they are not allowing us to use the Cloud Shell. So it will be banned. So you can, whatever you do, you can't able to use the Cloud Shell. Okay, so such kind of a restrictions they are going to put it. So at that point of time, we can't do anything. We just have to go with the whatever they are providing us. We have to use that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Sushovan, you have any question? Don't worry about that. We don't we will be having that, but for to give you some idea, so third party tools, maybe assume that you have a BigQuery, because at this point of time, if I tell you, people will get a doubt that what is this BigQuery and all, but I'll try to give you. Assume that BigQuery is a one of the data warehouse where you have a table, and this table you wanted to, this table will be having a lot of data. Assume that there is a some Power BI uh, tool is there, some Power BI tool is there. So if you wanted to visualize the data, right? So if you wanted to visualize any kind of a data, you need the data, right? So you need to extract this data. So what is this Power BI? It's a third party tool. For Google Cloud Platform, it is a third party, right? So for extracting the data, I'm connecting it to the BigQuery and extracting it. So this is one of type an interaction, right? So that is what I meant to say. Yes, yes. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions in general, guys? Any other question? Jagadish, yes. You have any question, Jagadish? Correct. No, no, no. No, no, no. Power BI has to connect it to the BigQuery and via some credentials, and these credentials has to generated from the GCP only. So this is a GCP, and what we do, we use these credentials which is generated at the GCP level, and via that we are going to extract the data. Power BI need to extract the data from here. This is the arrow. You extract the data from here. You have the data here, right? So you extract it and you visualize it. So this is what you do. You are pulling the data. You can say pull. Yeah. Yes. Correct. It's like a command line interface. It's like a CLI, command line interface. So a set of libraries were there. We are just using that. It's like a simple library, we can say. A simple software, you can say. It's a simple software development kit where you can install it and it comes up with a plenty of libraries. So you just use it to interact with the GCP. Okay. Yeah. As I told you, console and cloud is okay, mostly. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. Um, any other questions? Okay, so if you do not have any questions, I just wanted to convey one thing to all of you guys. Yes. No, there's a one more session. The same session's happening at the same time. Two, two sessions at the same time. It will be merged. Don't worry. It will be merged from Monday onwards. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to tell you one thing, guys. So we have completed 3 demo sessions. I hope most of the people have attended the 3 demo sessions. Can you guys confirm? Yes. I see a yes. Right. Yeah. So some of the people who are not able to attend my previous demo sessions, what you have to do is that you just get the recordings and try to watch it and be ready by Monday if you wanted to continue for the regular sessions. Okay. So once the day free demo sessions are completed, what we are planning to do is that you guys have to do the enrollment of your course. Okay. So I or my team will be connecting with you. You have to do the enrollment. You already know what is the amount of fee, and or you will get to know it, the amount of fee, how much you have to pay it. Okay. So for this enrollment, while you're doing the enrollment, you have to get 3 things. Okay. You have to get from the admin Zoom link to join the session from Monday, because the links are going to be changing from the Monday. That is one thing you have to understand. Zoom link sessions are going to be newly Zoom's links going to be generated. You have to get that. That is one thing. And one more is notes access. This is the notes that I am going to provide you the access. Okay. So whenever you are enrolling for the course, you have to get the notes link also, notes access. You have to get the notes access. That is the second thing. Third thing is that you need to make sure that there's a recording channel. Okay, you need to have the recordings access also. Okay, so these things, because whenever you are not able to attend the session, you need to look at the recordings, right? For all of these three things, whenever you are doing the enrollment, you try to get a proper details on all of these things. Okay, so you have to do that. So this is what I want you guys to understand, that from Monday onwards, the continuation of the sessions will be there. From Monday onwards, the continuation of the sessions will be there. We are going to look at the console walkthrough, where we are going to create an account and all of those things. Before the Monday, you guys have to complete your enrollments. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys. Any questions on of these things? And I just wanted to tell you one more time, the session timings are same. The session timings are 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. only every day, and from Monday to, not every day, Monday to Friday, and on the Zoom live sessions. Okay, like this only, guys, the same thing. You don't have to see what we are doing it. So you do not have a sessions on Saturday and Sunday. No sessions on Saturday and Sunday. You do not have any session. The direct session for us is that next Monday, guys. On Monday we will be attending at the same time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, I hope this is also clear. Okay, yes, Naveen, you have any question? I'll pinging you guys. I'll be pinging you. Yes. Okay. You'll be intimated. So yes, guys. So you have to understand this one also. Whenever if it is not possible for me to take the session on that day, you will be getting a proper email also. Okay. Don't worry about that. You will be in the group also. I'll be informing in the group also, guys. So all the things will be properly conveyed for all of you guys. Whenever we have a sessions or whenever we don't have a sessions, you will be properly intimated. Okay. On the beforehand itself. Yes. Okay, yeah. And yes, I see a one more hand raised from Vaibhav. Is it? Yes, sir. Yes, Vaibhav. Yeah. No. So these recordings you cannot be able to download it. You can only watch it, guys. Only for the watching purpose. Yes. You will be access at least 1 year. Yes. You will be having a recording access at least 1 year. It is only for watching purpose, not for the download purpose. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. And any other questions, anyone, please? Please raise your hand if you guys have any questions. Yes, Leela.
Hi, sir. In coming sessions,
Zoom.
are we going to? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, Leela. Yes, Leela.
Are we
Yes.
going to have the coding live coding sessions?
Of course. Of course. We will be having Python questions. We will be having Python live sessions, PySpark live sessions, Apache Beam live sessions, DAC, everything we are going to do live only. Only
Java.
whatever here mentioned, that is complementary, Terraform and GitHub. These things are provided to you on a video. But most of the topics, PubSub, Dataflow, DataProc, Python, BigQuery, Console, GCS, all the topics which are mentioned in your course curriculum are live sessions only. We are going to have a Python live sessions for the crash course, PySpark live sessions only, guys. You don't have to worry about it. You can trust me on that. Yeah. This is my, I think, almost 35 to 36th batch. Yeah. On the Google Cloud platform itself. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
I hope.
on the Java also, right? On the Java coding
No, we
also.
are not covering the Java. Our main entire area is Python, PySpark. So our, as I already told you guys, for a GCP data engineer, everywhere you go, it's Python only. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, basic Linux also we are covering. Basics. So you have to understand this one, guys. So the moment when I say Python, I wanted to clear that out. Most of the people will be having such a kind of a dilemma. So Python is a vast area, but Python for data engineers, how much you have to learn, we are going to cover. Python for data engineers. Okay, so that is one thing. And Linux also a vast area. We don't use that much Linux for data engineers. I will be covering how much Linux that you need, we will be covering. And PySpark for data engineers, everything we are covering, because PySpark is for data engineers only, we are covering. And Beam also is for data engineers only, we are covering fully. So that's all. Okay, so this is how, because Python can be for application developers also, Python can be for the automation testing also, can do that. But how much you have to learn Python, that's where you have to be smart enough to understand, and that Python you have to use it for the pipeline creation or data processing purposes. Okay, data analysis purpose you have to use it, right? So that much here. Linux basics here again covered. Yeah, any other questions please, as I'm already here. I hope this is clear. I think, yeah. Any other questions? You can unmute yourself and you can talk, guys. I'm here. If anyone have any questions, please. I suggest you to complete your enrollments by Sunday itself, so that you get a proper access to you all of these things. If you are doing in hurry burry on Monday before, just 1 hour or 2 hours before, if you are doing it right, so you may not be able to get all the access at the current time. So I suggest you to just do it maybe one day before, or maybe just a Monday before itself, whenever you are doing it. So it's easy to properly note your details and everything, so they can provide you the access properly. Okay, the access will also take at least 3 to 4 hours for all of us to do that. Yeah. Okay, so there will be a group also created for all of you guys, so the people will be, we will be intimating you all the details about the classes and any of the notes also. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I hope everything is clear, and if anyone have any questions, feel free to talk to me, and if nothing is there, we can wrap up this session for today, and we will be hoping you to see you on the Monday. Yeah. Yes, guys. Any other questions? Are we good? So to wind up the session. Okay. So I'm good, guys. Thank you. I hope to see you on Monday. Please complete your registrations. We will meet on Monday, guys. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye. I hope you have learned something today. Thank you, guys.